Picture this for a moment. You're sitting quietly in your living room, maybe reading the newspaper, maybe watching your favorite TV show. The house is still, the night is calm. And then, out of nowhere, you feel it, this crushing weight in your chest. It's not just heartburn, it's not just tiredness. Deep down, you know something is wrong. Your heart is racing, your breathing feels heavy, and fear starts to creep in. Could this be it? Could this be a heart attack? Now here's the part that makes it even scarier, you're alone. No one is sitting next to you, no one is in the next room to call for help. It's just you and those terrifying seconds ticking by. In that moment, what do? What's your first move? Do you panic? Do you wait, hoping it will pass? Or do you know exactly what steps to take to give yourself the best chance to survive until help arrives? This is not just a dramatic story. For seniors over 60, this is a very real situation. Every single year, thousands of older adults find themselves in this exact position, facing a heart attack with no one around to notice the warning signs, no one around to grab the phone, no one around to keep them steady. And too many times, lives are lost simply because people don't know what to do in those critical first few minutes. But here's the truth, you don't have to feel powerless. Knowing how to respond when those first chest pains hit could make all the difference between surviving and not making it through. And that's why this conversation is so important. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through 5 practical, life-saving tips every senior needs to know if they ever find themselves having a heart attack while alone. These aren't complicated medical tricks, they're simple, clear steps that could give you precious minutes until help arrives. And believe me, those minutes matter more than you realize. So before we dive in, I want you to do one thing for yourself. Type the word "prepared" down in the comments right now. It's a small way of saying, I'm ready to take control of my health. And while you're here, make sure to subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide, because this channel is all about giving you the tools, the knowledge, and the confidence to live safer, healthier, and stronger in your later years. Now, let's get started, because these 5 tips might just save your life one day. Let's begin with the very first and perhaps the most overlooked step, recognizing the early warning signs. I want you to think about John, a 67-year-old retiree. One evening, after a hearty meal, he felt this dull discomfort in his chest. He brushed it off as indigestion. He even joked to himself, maybe I had one too many spicy dishes tonight. Hours later, John was in an ambulance, fighting for his life after suffering a full-blown heart attack. That small, nagging pain he dismissed was his body's way of screaming for attention. And this is where so many seniors make the same mistake. The early signs of a heart attack don't always look like the movies. It's not always the dramatic clutching of the chest or collapsing on the floor. More often, it's subtle. It's quiet. It can feel like pressure, tightness, or even just a strange discomfort that creeps into your jaw, your back, or your arm. Some people feel unusually tired. Others feel a sudden wave of nausea or get short of breath without doing much of anything. The problem is, we convince ourselves it's something minor. We say, oh, it's just heartburn, or, I'm just getting older, of course I feel tired. But here's the truth. Your body knows the difference between everyday aches and something life-threatening. And if something feels unusual, if it feels out of the ordinary, or if it lingers instead of going away, you can't afford to ignore it. One of the biggest misconceptions is that heart attacks always hit like a hammer. That's not true, especially for older adults. Many times, they start as whispers. And if you wait for the dramatic signs, you may already be too late. So, here's the practical advice, listen closely to your body. If you suddenly feel drained in a way you never have before, if your chest feels heavy or squeezed, if breathing feels harder than it should, take it seriously. Don't brush it aside. Don't wait to see if it passes. Treat every unusual symptom as a possible warning. Because those early minutes are your best chance to act before things spiral out of control. but recognizing the signs is just the first step. Once you suspect you're having a heart attack, what you do next is absolutely critical, and it can make all the difference between survival and tragedy. Now that you know how to recognize the warning signs, the very next step is to act fast. And that means calling emergency services immediately. Let me share a story with you. Mary, age 72, felt a sharp pain across her chest one evening while knitting in her favorite chair. At first, she told herself it was nothing serious. She waited 5 minutes, then 10. She even thought about lying down to see if it would pass. By the time she finally picked up the phone, nearly 20 minutes later, her situation had worsened. Those precious minutes nearly cost her life. This is the harsh reality: every second counts during a heart attack. The sooner trained paramedics are on their way, the greater your chance of survival. It's not just about getting to the hospital, it's about the care you receive even before you arrive. Paramedics can begin treatment on the spot: oxygen, medication, monitoring, things you simply can't do for yourself at home. Yet, far too often, seniors hesitate. Maybe you've thought this yourself: I don't want to bother the ambulance crew. What if it's just indigestion? What if it goes away? Or worse, I'll just drive myself to the hospital. But here's the truth: those thoughts can be deadly. Driving yourself during a suspected heart attack is one of the most dangerous things you can do. You could lose control of the car, put others at risk, and delay the urgent care you desperately need. Calling 911, or whatever emergency number is used where you live, is not a burden. It's what they are there for. And when it comes to heart attacks, it's always better to be safe than sorry. Emergency services would much rather arrive and find out it was a false alarm than arrive too late to save your life. Here's my advice to you: keep your phone nearby at all times. Don't leave it in another room or across the house, especially at night. If you have a landline, make sure it's in reach of your favorite chair or your bed. If you use a cell phone, keep it on a nightstand or even in your pocket during the day. Those extra steps might feel small now, but in an emergency, they make all the difference. Remember this: hesitation wastes time, and wasted time costs lives. The moment you feel those symptoms, make the call. No second guessing, no waiting it out. Just pick up the phone and dial. Now, once you've recognized the signs and called for help, what happens in the minutes that follow can be just as important. This brings us to the third step: staying calm and sitting in a safe position. Imagine this: you're alone, and the pain hits hard. You feel dizzy, maybe lightheaded, your hands start to shake, and panic rushes in. Instinctively, you try to get up, maybe pace the room, maybe reach for something across the house. But here's the danger: many people collapse during those moments. And if you fall while your heart is already under strain, the situation becomes even more critical. This happens more often than you think. When your heart is fighting to keep blood flowing, every movement you make adds extra strain. Stress, fear, and frantic motion only make the heart work harder at the very moment it needs to conserve strength. That's why remaining calm isn't just about controlling your mind, it's about protecting your body. Here's what most people get wrong: they think lying down flat is the safest position. It feels natural, like resting in bed when you don't feel well. But during a heart attack, lying flat can actually make it harder to breathe. It can increase the feeling of pressure in your chest, and in some cases, it can even worsen the strain on your heart. Instead, the best thing you can do is sit upright, with your back supported against a sturdy chair or even a wall. This position helps reduce the heart's workload and makes it easier for your lungs to expand, giving your body the oxygen it desperately needs. Keep your feet flat on the ground, relax your shoulders, and focus on steady, calm breaths. And here's one more detail many forget: if you can, unlock your front door. That way, when the paramedics arrive, they can reach you without losing precious seconds trying to get inside. Just imagine how frustrating it would be for them to arrive quickly, only to be delayed by a locked door while you're inside needing urgent help. So, stay calm, resist the urge to walk around or lie flat, and place yourself in the safest position you can. These few simple actions give your heart the best chance to keep going while you wait. Now that you're sitting safely and trying to stay calm, let's move on to the fourth step, one that might feel almost too simple to matter, but in truth, it could save your life. And that step is taking an aspirin, if your doctor has advised it for you. Let me tell you about Robert. He was 71, a retired teacher who loved gardening. One morning, while trimming his roses, he felt that crushing heaviness in his chest. Thankfully, he remembered something his doctor had told him years before: always keep aspirin close, just in case. Robert reached into his pocket, pulled out a small pill, and chewed it right there while waiting for the ambulance. Later, the doctors told him that single act might have bought him the time he needed until treatment arrived. A small pill, something we often overlook, helped save his life. Here's why aspirin matters in that moment. A heart attack usually happens when a blood clot blocks the flow of blood to the heart. That blockage starves the heart of oxygen. Aspirin helps by thinning the blood, slowing down the clotting process, and letting blood move a little more freely. Even a slight improvement in circulation during those critical minutes can make a big difference. But here's the issue: many people think aspirin is just for headaches, fevers, or arthritis pain. They don't realize how powerful it can be in a cardiac emergency. Others keep it tucked away in a cabinet, thinking they'll never need it. But in reality, aspirin can play a vital role in surviving a heart attack, if it's taken quickly and correctly. Now, I need to make something very clear. This step should only be taken if your doctor has told you it's safe for you. For most seniors, it is, but for some, because of allergies, other conditions, or certain medications, it may not be recommended. That's why you should have that conversation with your doctor ahead of time, so you know, without hesitation, whether aspirin is part of your emergency plan. And here's another important detail. Don't just swallow the aspirin whole, chew it. Chewing allows the medicine to enter your bloodstream more quickly, which is exactly what you need in those urgent moments. A regular strength dose, about 325 milligrams, is what doctors usually recommend in emergencies. So if your doctor has approved it, keep a small supply in a place you can reach easily, by your bedside, in your purse, or in your pocket if you're out for a walk. Think of it this way: a bottle of aspirin may cost only a few dollars, but in the right moment, it's worth more than gold. It's not just a pill, it's time, and when you're having a heart attack, time is life. But aspirin alone isn't enough. Your heart and your body still need oxygen, and your circulation needs support while you wait for the ambulance. Now we come to the fifth and final step, one that may sound unusual at first, but has helped real people hold on until emergency help reached them, using controlled breathing and deliberate coughing to stay conscious. There are true stories of seniors who found themselves on the edge of losing consciousness during a heart attack, but managed to keep going just long enough because they focused on one simple thing: their breath. One gentleman in his late 60s described how he fought through waves of dizziness by taking deep, steady breaths and then forcing out strong coughs every few seconds. He said it was like pushing his body to stay awake, to fight for one more minute until help arrived. And those minutes saved his life. Here's why this matters. During a heart attack, your heart's rhythm can become unstable. Blood flow may slow, oxygen may drop, and fainting becomes a real risk. Deep breathing helps bring oxygen into your body, and the act of coughing, sharp, deliberate coughs, can momentarily push blood through your system, giving your heart a kind of manual assist. It's not a cure, but it's a way to keep the blood moving and maintain consciousness when things are at their most critical. Now, let's clear up a common misunderstanding. Some people hear about coughing during a heart attack and think it's a myth, or even a joke. It's not. While it won't stop a heart attack, it may buy you the precious seconds or minutes you need for paramedics to get to you. Think of it as a bridge, something to help you cross over from the danger of collapsing into the safety of medical care. Here's how you can do it. If you feel faint or your vision starts to blur, don't give in to panic. Instead, focus on your breath. Take slow, deep inhales, fill your lungs fully. Then, if you feel like you're slipping, give a strong, deliberate cough, as if you're trying to clear your chest. Repeat this every few seconds. This rhythm of deep breathing followed by forceful coughing can help keep your blood moving and keep you alert until professional help is by your side. It may feel strange, it may even feel awkward, but in a life-or-death situation, it's about survival, not comfort. And with that, we've now walked through all 5 life-saving steps you can take if you ever face a heart attack alone. But surviving a heart attack isn't just about what your body does, it's also about how you handle the fear, the uncertainty, and the emotional weight of that moment. Now, let's step back and talk about the emotional side of this, because survival isn't only about the physical fight, it's about the strength of your mind and spirit too. Facing a heart attack alone can be one of the most frightening experiences a person can imagine. The silence of the room, the racing of your heart, the sudden awareness that no one is nearby to help. These thoughts can feel overwhelming. For many seniors, that sense of vulnerability is heavier than the physical pain itself. It's the fear of being unseen, unheard, and unprepared. But here's where perspective changes everything. Fear grows in the dark, when we don't know what to do, when we feel powerless. Yet the moment you bring light to the situation with knowledge, fear begins to shrink. You now understand the early warning signs. You know that calling for help is not a burden, but a lifeline. You've learned that staying calm, sitting upright, taking aspirin if advised, and even controlled breathing and coughing can all make a difference. These aren't just random pieces of advice, they are tools, survival tools, that can tip the balance between despair and hope. Instead of fearing the unknown, you can face the future prepared. You have what so many people wish they had in a crisis, a plan. And that plan is your power. So, here's my challenge to you, don't just listen, act. Today, take 5 minutes to prepare your space. Place a bottle of aspirin where you can reach it easily, maybe right by your bedside or in your living room. Keep your phone within reach at all times, whether you're watching television, reading, or resting. And above all, commit these 5 steps to memory. Say them out loud if you must, write them down if it helps, share them with a friend or family member. Knowledge is most powerful when it's put into practice. And remember this, you are not powerless. You are not at the mercy of chance. With awareness, with preparation, with even the simplest steps, you have the strength to face an emergency with courage and confidence. A heart attack may be sudden, but your response can be steady. And in that steadiness lies your greatest chance for survival. Hold on to that hope. Hold on to the truth that you are stronger, more capable, and more prepared than fear wants you to believe. Let's take a moment to bring it all together. We've covered a lot, but the heart of it is simple, and it could save your life. To recap, first, recognize the warning signs, even if they seem mild or unusual. Second, call emergency services immediately, those minutes are priceless. Third, stay calm and sit upright in a safe position to ease the strain on your heart. Fourth, if your doctor has advised it, chew an aspirin while you wait for help. And fifth, use controlled breathing or even strong coughs to stay conscious until help arrives. 5 steps. Simple, memorable, life-saving. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 tips surprised you the most? Was it the subtle warning signs, or maybe the fact that aspirin can play such a critical role in those first moments? Or perhaps you've lived through this yourself, or know someone who has. Share your story in the comments below, I would truly love to hear your perspective. Your words might just encourage or even save someone else who comes across this video. And if this message spoke to you, if it gave you clarity, hope, or even just peace of mind, please take a second to give this video a like. And don't forget to subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide. Every day, we share practical, powerful advice designed especially for seniors, so you can live not only longer, but safer, healthier, and with more confidence. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Remember, you are not powerless, and you are not alone. Preparation is your strength, knowledge is your protection, and your health is your greatest gift. Take care of it, cherish it, and never take it for granted. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and keep living each day with wisdom and courage. I'll see you in the next video.